What's up, people of YouTube? I'm Karsatowski and welcome back to the Karsatowski YouTube channel. So today we are going to watch the, I think 16th or 17th perfect game bowled in PBA television history, Norm Duke versus Walter A. Williams Jr. at the 2003 Earl Anthony Classic.
What makes Norm Duke so good? Two different bowling balls, same line, the extreme outside line.
Yeah, look at the angle that Norm Duke is playing. He's going straight up the arrows. His laydown point is practically right next to the gutter, and his ball is pushing enough to where it gets to the pocket. Very few players are able to play that line, and even fewer players are able to play that line today with all the rev rate that we have and the heavy hands. Walter Ray can play very similar to what Norm Duke is doing, but this time he has chosen to go a little bit to the inside and slow hooking it a little bit more.
That gives my ball the best chance to strike, no matter where it is. Next to Walter Ray, the wild card player is now 13.
All right, yeah, he's a lot more inside than Norm Duke is. He's circling it a little bit more.
Watched him do it in practice. The left lane was laboring. The ball was having trouble getting up into the 1-3 pocket. Problem is, if he moves a little bit right, the ball wants to hook early and go high.
Yeah, so that's why he's a little bit left, which is pretty much the move he'd make anyway.
Looking ahead to a victory over Norm Duke, just over 500 are those wild card bowlers.
All right, you see also how Norm Duke utilizes practically the entire approach on the lane. He takes long steps and takes, I think, 5 whole steps to the approach. And that helps him create a lot of ball speed.
What this guy can do. Now, all week long at Pacific Lanes,
has made at least 1 TV show in 14 consecutive seasons, 1989 to 2002. You know who else has made a consecutive TV appearances in 14 or more seasons as of recent? Jason Belmonte from 2009 until 2023, which I'm pretty sure that's 15 consecutive. Walter Ray is another player who's done the same thing. I think he made an appearance from like 1984, I want to say, until like 2011, I think, which I'm pretty sure he holds the record. Good break there. And then Chris Barnes, I think from 98 until 2017, maybe, I think. He's made a lot too. He's made about 20 at this point consecutive. Walter, and speaking of consecutive seasons with TV, Walter Ray has the all-time record for the most appearances on TV, which is 178, which I don't think anybody will be able to break that. I don't think.
They won't allow me back into the town that I grew up in, so kind of live that vicariously through Walter. But you take a look here, Walter, fine-tuning his ball reaction on the left lane.
Yeah, it looks pretty good right now.
But Norm Duke is perfect. 3-4, taking a re-wrap.
And not much you can do with someone who is perfect.
As usual, Walter Ray relaxed. It is pretty tough.
I really do like the seating arrangements that they have for a lot of these older PBA telecasts. Obviously, they still have the crowd at the side of the lane, the side of the bowlers, but I really like the bowlers at the back. And anymore, they have this like screen, which I feel like that works for very, very large centers. Well, no, that's probably not. I think it's good sometimes that you do that, but I hate the fact that they do that for just about every other event anymore. The only 2 centers that they don't put that screen at the back of the bowlers are at Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park, Michigan, and at one of the most legendary lanes all time, Riviera Lanes in Akron, Ohio. Those are the only two places, for whatever reason, that they don't ever put that darn screen at the back of the players, which I really like that. It really makes it a little bit more personal. You know, get to see them up close. But it is what it is, and hopefully they'll make adjustments to that in the future. Okay, so we're about halfway through, and Norm Duke is up by 40. Walter is working on a double right now. There we go. Oh, ooh, that ball hooked really early in the mid part of the lane, and probably didn't get it far enough to the right.
3-6-7-10 split.
Wow.
Got to get the ball over into here. Throw that 3-pin into the 7. The ball will take out.
Those lanes kind of look new, honestly. They really do. Look like they haven't been used past a few tournaments before this one. I mean, it is an arena final, so they probably got those lanes from just like a factory or something and then had them installed. That looked like a much better shot. Got it a little bit further right and was able to kick out that 10-pin. But Norm Duke now has an even larger lead at 56. Halfway through this game, the only way that Walter Ray can win is if Norm Duke were to have a couple open frames and Walter Ray were to strike out, but we know Norm Duke bowls perfect game, so it doesn't matter too much now. Perfect shot. And that shot right there is something you will not see from any player out on tour nowadays. Look at that. Lay down point right about second board. Floats it all the way dead flush into the pocket. The only reason that you would probably see a player going that straight now is if there were players who could stand right in front of the gutter to the right and loft it a little bit. But I don't even think most players would even do that today, because the miss area is even smaller at that point, because you got to loft it over the right gutter and you still have to have the ball lay down on the lane perfect enough, and to have the ball have enough energy to make it to the pocket and not overhook. There we go. That was a much better shot in that lane. Much better shot.
Last 300 games, the year 2000 in Indianapolis. This event named for the late great Earl Anthony.
Yeah, Earl Anthony actually technically has 43 titles. Now second all-time for most titles and second all-time for most Player of the Years. And now Norm Duke has won double the amount of titles that he has now. He's got 40. Oh, that's got to carry. Oh. That is not. That was really close. He didn't miss that messenger by very much. He should have gotten that. He knows he's already lost this match after Norm Duke threw that last shot, so he definitely should have gotten that 10-pin messenger, or messenger on the 10-pin. And after this, he would make, I think, 40 additional, I think.
Lots of drama here. This is another reset for Norm Duke.
Norm Duke has about 125, somewhere around that range in his career.
First ever career TV 300 game.
It's a good shot. There you go. Pretty much just like the last one on that lane.
Let's not forget a $10,000 bonus for shooting 300. It's about the only thing that Norm Duke hasn't done in his career.
There we go.
Wow, is that
Perfect.
ball perfect? We like to use the term dead flush. 3 strikes away from perfection. And it's
34 career 300 games. I'm sure that number is almost double on the PBA Tour at this point. There we go. It's a little light, but still got it. 14 all-time PBA 300 games. So this was number 15.
There have been 14 on TV.
And this was actually the first one of this decade. The last one, I think, was in 99.
Last was Mike Miller, June 20th of 99 in
Yep.
Reno against Danny Wiseman.
That's even more dead flush. That one's dead flush. He needs one more just like that.
Norm Duke with a chance to make history today in Tacoma.
That's a good shot. Another perfect shot, all 10 in the pit. The mic's actually cutting out too. There we go. And that was 20 years ago. $10,000 for a 300 game.
$1,000 bonus in the semifinals. A 300 game for Norm Duke.
And I think that may have been the third time that a perfect game has been bowled against Walter Ray. Let me see. I know Johnny Petraglia did it against Walter Ray in 95. And who else did it? Who else did it? Norm Duke did it, obviously, and there was somebody else who bowled perfect game against Walter Ray. But Walter Ray's highest score on TV, I think, was a 299. I don't remember when that was, but he did bowl 299.
Hey, don't steal his light now, Walter Ray. I shouldn't say unbelievable because there's nothing that Norm Duke does that surprises me or anybody else.
Hey, Randy, do you know who has 300 thrown at him on TV?
Yep, that was his third 300 game bowled against him on TV.
Something about 300 thrown against him?
Gotta look that stat up, Walter. Thanks for the interaction and the question.
Also, what's very interesting too is that he did have a fourth perfect game bowled against him on TV, but it was in a non-title event. And that was Wes Malot's first of two perfect games in the 2009 King of Bowling event. So Walter Ray has never bowled 300 on TV, but he's had 4 perfect games bowled against him on TV. There you go. 300 to 213. It honestly would have been a lot closer if it wasn't for that 6-count split earlier in the match. And look at that line right there. You will not see that line being utilized very often on the PBA Tour nowadays. So that was the 15th perfect game bowled on TV. Since then, I think there was 35 that have been bowled, and the most recent has been Jason Belmonte. Actually, Jason Belmonte bowled the 34th and the 35th perfect games on television. So, and what's really weird to me now is that both Norm Duke and Walter Ray Williams Jr. are both retired from the National Tour. Walter Ray retired from the National Tour in 2021, and Norm Duke retired in 2022. Walter Ray bowls on the PBA 50 Tour, and he has been for about the last, like 13 years at this point. And he also has the most titles on that tour, unsurprisingly. And he also even owns a PBA 60 title as well. Or I think 2 at this point, I can't remember. And Norm Duke has actually retired from bowling altogether. He actually hasn't been bowling at all since the 2022 PBA League. And he will be at the PBA League this year, but as a manager this time. So that's really interesting. But it's just really weird to me, growing up, watching the PBA Tour, not seeing any of them on tour anymore. But that was Norm Duke 300 game, number 15 on TV. Anyway, guys, so if this is your first time checking out the Karsatowski YouTube channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of my videos. So I'm Karsatowski. Keep watching my content, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.